Well, hello and welcome back. Tonight we're going to be talking about interchangeability in the Model 1911. Now, if you've been watching this video series, you're aware that the interchangeability that was desired by Ordnance Department was never really achieved during World War I. And it was recognized that it had to be achieved in order for this to be successful. Now, the manufacturing's gauges furnished to the ordnance inspectors assured the interchangeability with their own pistols, but not with other manufacturers. Now, specifications were identical, but manufacturing process and gauges differed. And Ordnance recognized the need for interchangeability across all makes, and in October of 1924, the Gauge Division of Springfield Armory was assigned the task of developing final inspection gauges. And this is quite a story. It designed to assure perfect interchangeability amongst manufacturers, and the first set of gauges took nearly 7 years and, of course, countless man-hours to get them. And these were all based off of Springfield Armory, standard ordnance drawings, and a study of the Remington UMC manufacturing process, gauges, tools, fixtures that were held in storage at Springfield Armory since the end of World War I. Now, along with the gauges, drawings were to be completed with a revised parts numbering system and just brand new drawings and everything. They were set and ready to go for the next time they needed to subcontract this out to all these manufacturers. So the first model 1911 A1 gauges were completed and delivered in 1932, and they did not fit Colt's parts or specifications, and it became apparent very early on that the Remington UMC process was outdated that they had used to design their gauges off of. Now, the Gauge Division did not consider Colt's manufacturing process. Ordnance decided that, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and replace our brand new gauges with gauges redimensioned to fit Colt's. Well, this was determined, and they did that because it was less expensive to do that than reject all of Colt's parts. So we'll go back to 1923, and in 1923, after Colt requested changes in the standard ordnance drawings so they could have some of their stuff fit the way they were manufacturing, so it was, correct between ordnance and what they were doing, because it was slightly different. The Ordnance Office directed Springfield Armory to make an examination of the Remington UMC tools to determine what effect a change in drawings would have in production on production equipment that was being stored. Well, the preliminary check determined 20% of the gauges, templates, and everything else would be affected. It was also found that many cutters would have to be scrapped. New dies and profiling fixtures would be required for future manufacturing. Now, this was 1923, and less than a year later, after all of this, new gauges and drawings were produced without consideration for Colt's manufacturing process. So the left hand wasn't aware of what the right hand was doing. Just a government bureaucracy that kind of got lost. I don't know, but this definitely proved there was little coordination between departments at Springfield Armory. Now, new gauges had to be made and new drawings had to be revised in order to fit the Colt's manufacturing process for these pistols. And that all became the foundation for World War II production, which we're going to be getting to shortly. But interchangeability, a very big issue. Interchangeability, not always able to take place, and then what a fiasco with the drawings and the planning. Unfortunate. A lot of wasted man hours. All right, well, another little interesting side note to Model 1911 history for those of you who are interested. I appreciate you tuning in and watching, and thanks very much, and have a great evening.